Last time I finished reading, it ended like this. A dim shaft of light flooded into the house through the open doorway. A hand reached into the light. Then a full figure stepped into the doorway. It was Sophia, said Iggy. Sophia Valdez stepped into the light of the doorway and waved. Was that you banging on the door? She asked. Iggy, Ada, and Aunt Bernice did not answer. They stared at something behind Sophia, something that was moving toward her from the deep shadows. It drew closer and closer, and Sophia, said Iggy. It's a really cool house, said Sophia. Closer, closer. It's, sputtered Iggy, pointing wildly behind Sophia. Awesome? asked Sophia. Wait till you see inside. But it's, Iggy stammered. Creepy? said Sophia. Do you think it's haunted? Sophia! cried Aunt Bernice. Get out of the house. Why? asked Sophia. Look out, said Iggy. A ghostly howl filled the darkness. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ada and Iggy jumped onto the porch and raced to Sophia, but it was too late. Sophia whirled around just as the thing swooped around her and pulled her back into the shadows. Sophia! yelled Ada. Ada and Iggy raced through the doorway, tripped on the threshold, and toppled onto something that was very bumpy, very wiggly, and very giggly. Aunt Bernice pushed the heavy door wide open and light flooded into the entry hall. Ada, Iggy, and Sophia were piled in a heap on top of a bumpy sheet. Hee hee hee, giggled a voice beneath the sheet. I think I know who it is. What do we have here? asked Aunt Bernice. A giggling ghost? Ada, Iggy, and Sophia scrambled to their feet, and Aunt Bernice snatched away the sheet to reveal a giggling girl in a red polka dot bandana. Rosie, said Iggy. Did I scare you? asked Rosie. I found this sheet on that chair. It was funny, said Sophia, breaking into a laugh. Rosie, Ada, and Aunt Bernice couldn't help themselves, and soon everyone was laughing. Everyone, that is, except Iggy. Iggy was too busy looking at the most beautiful room he had ever seen. They stood in a grand entry hall with an iron and glass chandelier above them and a swirling mosaic tile floor below. At the center of the swirls were the words, Happiness is the key to everything. Hey, said Aunt Bernice, that was Herbert Sherbert's slogan. He put that on everything he built in Blue River Creek. The train station had that on the platform. In the rotunda of the old library, in the original school, there was a big painting of a green goose ice cream cone with those words around it. I don't think the teachers liked it, but we kids sure did, especially on hot days. Herbert Sherbert really knew how to advertise, said Sophia. And make ice cream, said Aunt Bernice. Wish I had some now. A curved wrought iron banister led to the second floor. The walls were covered with large murals of the history of Blue River Creek, from the dinosaurs to the turn of the 20th century. I can't believe this, said Iggy. The outside of this part of the house is Victorian era, and the inside is Art Nouveau. Those are my favorite styles of houses, besides Gothic, Romanesque, and modern, and I think that dinosaur is eating ice cream, said Sophia, but it's too dark to tell. Even with the door wide open, the room was dim. Look, said Rosie, a button. That's an old light switch, said Aunt Bernice, but it won't work. The wires are too old to handle modern electric service. This house would have been one of the first in Blue River Creek to be built for electricity. How will you live here without electricity, Aunt Bernice? asked Ada. Aunt Bernice sighed. I don't think I'll get to live here, Ada, said Aunt Bernice sadly. It would cost a fortune to update this place. But the letter said there was furniture, so maybe I can sell some of it to pay for repairs. She smiled hopefully. What's this lever? asked Rosie Revere. Don't pull, cried Aunt Bernice, but it was too late. Thunk, clunk, bam, bam, bam. The giant metal shutters covering the enormous windows flapped open and slammed against the outside of the house. Light streamed through the leaded glass windows of the great hall of the mysterious mansion. Wow, said Iggy. Wow, said Rosie. Wow, said Sophia. Ada did not say anything. She was thinking. She tapped on her chin and looked at Sophia and Rosie. Wait a second, she said. How did you get in here? We climbed in through the kitchen window, said Rosie. What? asked Aunt Bernice. The storm blew a big tree through the kitchen window, said Sophia, so we came through to let you in. How did you know we would be here? asked Ada. Iggy's dad told my aunt, and she told me, said Rosie. So we came out to see if we could help, and we found the tree in the window. Was there glass? said Aunt Bernice. You could have been hurt. It's all under the tree, said Rosie. We just stayed on the branches. Oh, said Aunt Bernice. Let's all be careful and stick together. But it was too late. Iggy had already dashed up the grand staircase with the rest of the questionnaires on his heels. Aunt Bernice heard them open doors and upstairs. Wow, Iggy yelled. Every room is like a different country. Here's Egypt, yelled Ada. Spain, yelled Sophia. Italy, yelled Iggy. Russia, China, Morocco. Downstairs, Aunt Bernice looked quietly at the magnificent great hall of the mysterious mansion. The sun streamed through the enormous windows and lit the murals of happy times from Blue River Creek. Bernice smiled. She imagined the whole town gathered for parties in the mansion. But she couldn't help thinking about Herbert Sherbert. He would have been lonely in such a big house after Candace died. What happened to him then? Could those old stories be true? Did their ghosts haunt the mysterious mansion? Perhaps it was a small breeze that blew in through the door, or a passing cloud blocking the sun from the tall windows. But for a moment, Aunt Bernice felt a chill and shuddered. Then the chill passed. She looked around once more, then followed the questionnaires up the wide marble steps. Herbert Sherbert had indeed traveled far and wide. Each room upstairs was like visiting a different country. The walls were covered with colorful murals showing the scenery and landmarks and wildlife of the various lands, all in the Art Nouveau style, which Iggy loved. Like the murals in the great hall, each included someone eating ice cream. What each room did not include was furniture. There were no beds, tables, chairs, or dressers. Where was the furniture mentioned in the letter? Surely there had been furniture if Pierre Glacé had donated brass lamps and vases from the house so long ago. As Aunt Bernice toured the house, she grew sadder. Each room was more beautiful than the last, but without antiques to sell, there was no way she could keep the house. She found the questionnaires in a room with a mural that had a lush tropical jungle with a tiger, a baby elephant, and other animals peeking from the vegetation on one end, and a royal palace with a golden roof on the other. That's the Grand Palace in Bangkok, Thailand, said Iggy. Though when it was made, the country was called Siam. Its architecture is very unique. Someday I want to go there. Look, Iggy, said Ada. There's Bricks. A white cat with two different colored eyes peeked from behind a pillar. Do you think that is Brick's ancestor? She asked. Why do they have different colored eyes? I'm going to read about that when I get home. Iggy did not answer. He was thinking about the cat statues in the graveyard. Was there a connection? Speaking of home, said Aunt Bernice, it's time to wrap up this adventure. They wandered back to the great hall, where the sunlight streamed through the large windows. It filled Iggy with joy, but Aunt Bernice smiled sadly. She looked at the single chair sitting before the fireplace and the large portrait hanging above the mantel. The painting was covered with a sheet. This chair and that painting are all that's left, she said. I can't afford to replace the roof just by selling those. Let's look, said Ada, tugging at the corner of the sheet. The sheet tumbled to the ground, revealing a wedding portrait of an elegant couple. In one hand the bride held a bouquet of jasmine. In the other she held a white cat with two different colored eyes. The couple smiled widely, but their eyes held a single emotion, sorrow. Why is the portrait crooked? Asked Ada, pushing up at the bottom corner of the frame. I wonder if the cat came from Thai. Iggy started. Creak. A sudden sound cut him short. A deep rumbling noise filled the air. It gave way to a wheezing sound that changed into a strong, clear note. It was as if the house were humming. The sound grew louder and louder, and soon a steady thump began from somewhere upstairs. There was a new note, and then another, and another. It was music. The house itself was playing a song. Suddenly the shutters on the great hall windows slammed shut. Almost as quickly they flew open again. The shutters opened and shut in rhythm with the music. At first, the song was jolly like a carnival ride, but then it twisted and became eerie and creepy. The questionnaires looked at one another with wide eyes. Suddenly they heard a new sound rise from the music. It was a faint sound that sent chills up their spines. It was an ear-splitting yowl like the sound of a woman crying.